we gather to collect tools, awareness, insight, and applied action to create the life of our dreams, to make our dreams our reality, to learn how to leave a fingerprint on this planet, to serve humanity, and to create prosperity. I love your comments. I love the way you comment on the messages by saying, oh my God, I needed that. Or, look, this is exactly like my life. Here's my experience. Or BOL, breakthrough out loud. I had no idea. Even in the cases where you yana someone and say, you are not alone. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is not your first time, welcome home. In this conversation, I want to talk about doing you unapologetically, no longer dimming your light. You know, this is something that I lived with and in many cases struggle with for years. You know how you can recognize very early on that there's something unique about you. You walk into a room, and what we tend to do when we walk into a room is we measure and recalibrate ourselves based on where the room is to make sure we don't outshine the room. Come on, type in chat, Yana, or yes, that's me, or yes, yes, you see the sign, yes, yes, that's me. If that's been you. I would walk into rooms, even in middle school, even in elementary school, and for sure by the time I got to high school, and I didn't even know that I was doing it. I would unconsciously step into a room and check to see if I can do Lisa, or what percentage of Lisa could I do. I rarely walked into a room and gave them 100% of me because I didn't want to outshine the room. I didn't want to out energy the room. I didn't want to do something. I didn't want to stand out in the room. I just wanted to be accepted. I realized that I wanted to be accepted more than I wanted to do me. Is that you? Have you ever been there? Are you there right now? When I would go to family functions, I would calibrate my energy based on my family members. When I would go to meetings, I calibrate my energy, calibrate my light, adjust my light, turn my light down based on who else was in the room. When I was at a track meet, or when I was in theater or in dance, I would adjust myself to make sure I didn't stand out. I was more committed to fitting in than I was to doing Lisa. You know, does that sound familiar at all? Yana me, let me know. Lisa, you are not alone. And so this episode is about that thing you already know. You are an unrepeatable miracle. No one on this planet can do you. And what my Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith said, and if you don't do you, you won't be done. Ooh, that was delicious when I heard it at my summit. If you don't do you, then you won't be done. There's only one person that can give us you. And you don't give us any benefit. You're not giving us a bonus. When you step into our space and you measure the energy and you tone down your light, you tone down your brilliance, you turn down your beauty so that we won't feel insecure and uncomfortable in your presence, you're not doing anyone a favor. So I'm gonna say to you, sis, I'm gonna say to you, brother, I'm gonna challenge and charge you. When you step into that next room, wherever that room is, whether it's your home, whether it's your business, whether it's a virtual room, whether it's online, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's on Facebook Live, wherever you are, I'm gonna challenge you to give us the best version of you. Because when you let your light shine, you have no idea how your light can become contagious and could lighten up what could have been a dark moment for me. But I need you to shine your light as brightly as you can so that I can pick up a glimmer of who I can become. I'm not going to try to do you, but I need to be able to see in your light a better version of me, a more solid me. And so the next time you step in a room, virtually or physically, or even just auditory, I'm going to invite you. Let the room meet your greatness. Introduce the room to your giant, not in a way that you overshadow anyone else, not in a way that you dim anyone else's light, not in a way that you dominate anyone. It's not that kind of light. It's the kind of light that inspires those who are in your presence to want to be a better woman, that inspire those that are in your presence to want to be a better man simply because they're in proximity to you. So it's not in a way that squashes anyone else's greatness. That's ego. Or ladies, that's she-go. I'm not inviting you to do that. I'm inviting you to stand in your greatness and your genius and in your light in such a way that people standing near you say, man, something's happening to me. Just automatically something. It just feels good to be in her presence. It just feels good to be in his presence. That's what I'm inviting you to do. I'm inviting you to go to bed every night being able to say, today, I played full out. Today, I gave my all. Today, I didn't hold back any of my greatness. I let it be seen. I let it be shown. I let it be heard. Today, I gave my unique, unrepeatable miracle to the world. And inside of just listening, inside of the way I speak, inside of the way I teach, inside of the way I laugh, inside of the way I make other people laugh, inside of the way I video record, inside of the way I share my knowledge, inside of the way that I do me. We're not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking you to shine your light, share your light, own your light, and then be willing to allow us to celebrate your light. I say that because for so long, I only shared a version of this Lisa. I think I've been this way for a long time, long before I was willing to share her. And it wasn't until I was willing to share my uniqueness. It wasn't until I was willing to share me and not try to hide the parts of me that I didn't think you would like. I didn't try to minimize the parts of me that I thought you would say are too much. I didn't try to hold back the parts of me that I didn't think that you would embrace. It wasn't until I said, this is me. Quirky, energetic, dysfunctional, silly, brilliant in some ways, thought-provoking, spiritual, Black, feminine. It wasn't until I just let all of me out. A mom who on some days I'm so confident, and on other days I have nothing but question marks. A woman who loves love, loves loving, and on some days afraid of someone loving me. A change agent who on some days I love all the charge and the assignments in front of me, and on other days I feel like, how can I possibly do it all? Allowing all of you to step into a room, to be brilliant and confused, to be powerful and in some days feeling like, man, I just don't know what to do, to have periods and explanation points and question marks. All of you step into a room. And as you do that, we will learn how to celebrate every single part of you. Now remember, this is a dialogue, not a monologue. I need you, I want you to comment on this episode. What did it shake up for you? What did it remind you of? What was your BOL, breakthrough out loud? What did you need to hear? What was a big like, oh my God, Lisa, I needed to be reminded of that. Or I was just telling someone that same thing, Lisa. Let me know. I want to hear from you. Your feedback, your comments, your interaction, your dialogue is important to me. And remember to subscribe if you haven't already done so. We want this to be your home. Why? Because we're your tribe. And I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility. And every single time you look at an episode, I'm gonna say something like, I believe in you. And something like, I love you. Not because I lack things to say, but because I believe in you. And I want you to know that I love you. You're my sister, you're my brother from another mother. And together, we make up humanity. And you're important to me. I cannot wait to see you again real soon.